Alright, so this is my friend's 2004 Toyota Corolla LE, and it is it's literally just an average car. There's nothing special about it. Alright, in video. Kidding, of course. We got a few things. We're gonna start up here, of course. You'll notice that nothing special anywhere. But one thing I did notice is exposed, very exposed windshield wiper jets there. And if you take a look around, you'll notice the whole windshield wiper assembly here is exposed. Like, there's nothing stopping like a huge rock from just coming and clipping this off. And also, if you look really closely here on the windshield wiper blades, you'll notice that there's a Toyota logo. I mean, I guess you could say this is like Dodge's thing when they do the little Jeep going up the windshield. That like, you know, buy the factory windshield wipers. So I don't know. Also, you can do this on like my car. My car, you cannot just put them up like this. There's an actual thing in the infotainment to put them in their service position. But this one, you can just play around with the wipers, do whatever, which is interesting. Also, you'll notice here over time, the windshield wiper jets have melted away at some of the paint and like given it a really weird looking spot there. So I mean, yeah, that's kind of interesting, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of everything for the front, to be honest, except just how dented everything is. This is an old car, obviously bought for cheap, just to get from point A to point B. You'll notice all the dents and scrapes everywhere, and everything is plastic. That's plastic. Plastic bumper, plastic grille, metal hood, plastic. Everything is plastic on this car, which, I mean, it's an average car. What can I say? Stop. Alright, so next thing we got here, we got mirrors. If you come around, you'll notice that they're really bezel-less. Like, look at that amount of bezel. That's like nothing. And objects in mirror appear closer. That's just the thing on every car. And next thing on the side here is it's going to be on the front ones first. Look here, you got solid disc brakes, nothing fancy back there, or up there rather. But if you come back here, drum brakes in rear, which some may argue may work for good front wheel drive burnouts. They do not. You still can't. You still move the wheels. Like they don't. When you put the e-brake on, the back wheels do not stop. They'll spin a little bit. So yeah, that's that. And if we come around back here, you'll notice nothing interesting at all other than this, which requires a separate key to use, as most old cars used. And yeah, you'll notice that. So we're gonna open the trunk next. Alright, so now we're gonna get into the trunk, and fancy feature here, you wave your foot under it and then you realize you're an idiot because it's an old Corolla and you just open the trunk. And
that's tough.
It's kind of spacey back here. I mean, there's not near as much space as my car, obviously, but the trunk in this car is wider than my car, surprisingly. But you take a look in here and you realize everything is exposed, like here, very exposed. Both sides back here, the wires are really exposed. Yeah, both sides are like that. You got hooks here, don't know the purpose of them, but
that would be for slinging a net across and keeping your groceries in.
That's probably a good point. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than this thing here, very big escape handle. Assume it glows in the dark.
It does indeed.
Yeah, because he was just in the trunk as usual. But yeah, you'll notice that that's very large. Works very well though. And yeah, you got things back here for folding down the rear seats, which we can take a look at. I've never done this before though. Oh, it just folds down like that. Good. Very sketchy carpeting. Holy, it's not as bad as the Mirage, but still. Well, they did a somewhat good job of fitting the carpet. Again, very exposed hook there. And yeah, so that's that. Next thing is going to be the fuel door, which this is really heavy fuel door to open, by the way. And another thing you'll notice is just how long it takes to unscrew this beast of a cat. Look at all those screws. Just tons of it. And unlike my car, this thing's actually attached. My car's thing broke, so it fell off. It takes forever to screw in. So yeah, that is the side and back of the car. And if you look here, you'll notice this is how you open the fuel door. Actually, it's a little switch here, which is good for filling up your thing with sugar. So that's good. So yeah, now we'll get into the interior for real. Okay, so now we're on the inside where first thing you'll notice by the sound is it's echoey for some reason. Like there's padding everywhere, but it's still very echoey. And next thing you'll notice is literally just basic. It's super basic. Handbrake, manual handbrake here, gear lever, just perfect. Overdrive button on the side of the gear lever, which I just noticed, so that's good. That means you can shift into like 5th gear or something, I don't know. Yeah, you'll notice that. Basic air conditioning controls here. Switch where you want the air to come out. High, low, hot, cold. Just the basic stuff. Basic controls. Hazard light button. One thing you will notice though is no blank switches, which my car has a lot of blank switches. This car has no blank switches actually, except for one over here. There's a blank switch, and yeah, it's over there. You can see it. It's right there. So yeah, and this thing for you who are curious is a coin holder for coins. In there is things. Why are you not using the coin holders? But I just noticed, what is that thing? Who knows? But oh, it's an air vent. Okay. Here's your gauge cluster. Nothing too spectacular. RPM, speedometer, fuel and heat, just the basic stuff. Reset the trip, and an electronic odometer, which is very common. You get a cassette player though, so that's nice, which means you can jam out to Queen. Bluetooth thing, single cigarette lighter, yeah, that's pretty much all for the front seats here. Back seats, very barren. You'll notice that there's not even a center console. I'm trying to shoot a video here. Do you mind?
No.
Alright. Back seats, very barren, as you can see. Not even a center console, surprisingly. So, yeah, you know, that's kind of a thing. You got your child seat hook there, as most every single car in the industry has since, like, 1980. Rear cup holders, just like German-style ones, so they're very cheap and very breakable. Oh my goodness, that wobbles a lot.
Incredibly flimsy.
Very flimsy cup holders, just like the old BMW's front cup holders. But, yeah, just the back seats. You got a handle here. No storage back here whatsoever. No pockets, no nothing. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all for the back seats. And another thing you'll notice is a sunroof, which is probably the most impressive feature on this car. So, yeah. Oh, there's a thing in there. Center console. Nothing too much. But, yeah. So, that's the center console and the back seats. And, yep. That'll conclude the interior of this car. Alright, so now we're going to do the driving portion of this. And I don't drive Corollas very much.
You left the emergency brake on.
I did leave the emergency brake on. That is the thing I did. I'm not used to having a manual e-brake, and I'm not used to having a hydraulic steering either. Hold on. Can you adjust your wheel? Yeah, you can. No, you can't. Frick.
Not very much, at least.
Alright. Oh, holy. I didn't even hit it hard there.
Yep, that's my car.
And we're driving. We're in a Corolla. And right off the bat, steering is heavier than my car. That's just because it's hydraulic steering and not electric steering. So you're going to get a lot more of the feel of the road. Next thing to note is that even though it is like really padded in here, I can still hear very slight echo when it comes to driving and talking at the same time. Very slight echo. Don't hit the dog. Okay, good. Alright, and yeah, basically it's not fast, I can already tell. But maybe we can get some low range gears. There's a deer over there. We're gonna wait a second here so we can make sure no cars are coming. And suspension's pretty nice. But yeah. Alright, let's see what this baby can do. Not fast.
Shut up.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, it'll get you to where you need to go. This is a very good point A to point B type vehicle. Very good fuel economy, I assume. Probably 40 mpg.
Yep. Yep.
I'd think, or something like that.
41.
41, yeah. So I mean, it's good. Steering's nice when you're cruising at speeds like this because you don't feel the road as much. I mean, I can feel a ton of rattle through the wheel, which is not ideal. It makes it so driving long distances will make your hands very tired. And yeah, it'll make it very, I don't know. This car has 163k miles, as I probably stated before, which, I mean, for Corolla is very little, actually. I mean, my car's not going to last that long, so, but it's a Corolla. It's very nice. 04, 03.
04.
04. I don't know. If you can't tell, we haven't filmed the other parts of the video yet, so we're actually doing the driving thing first because there's a lot of people. I mean, it rides nice. Throttle response is slow because
it's a Corolla.
Yeah, and there's no feeling. It just makes noise. That's basically what happens. You go the same speed, but you make noise. And yeah, so yeah, you have to lock the doors manually. Oh, those brakes are touchier than mine.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too, but that's because my car is a boat compared to this thing. This thing weighs like half as much as my car does. And yeah, it's a very good, I mean, it's somewhat of a nice driving experience. Obviously, it wouldn't be your first choice if you're going for nice driving experiences. From driving new Corollas, because I have before, I can tell you it feels pretty much the same driving wise. It's just this one's a bit older, a bit louder, because, you know,
it's a little louder.
Yeah, that was 3k RPMs, and it's already louder than my car gets on the inside by like a lot.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it does not sound good. The inline 4, it's a 160 horsepower or something like that probably. But yeah, it's I mean, I wouldn't choose it. Let's just say that. I mean, if I'm just getting from point A to point B, this is a nice small little car. It can do some things. Lauren's house on the left there. But it's somewhat nice to drive. I wish the steering wheel would move farther forwards this way, but you can only adjust it up and down. I put my brights on by accident there.
Nice.
Very, very sticky door handle. Almost to 60. There we
I would
go.
not advise that.
That's 60. I know. Yeah, quite slow, if I'm to be honest. 980 to 60 or something like that, I'd
I
assume.
believe it's about that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't feel anything. You don't get pushed back in your seat. That's
Zero.
That is not the point of this car, though. The point of this car is to get good fuel economy and make you get places good. But, and it does that. It does that. I mean, I could tolerate this car. Let's just say that. This car is average. I could tolerate it.
It's good at what it does.
It is, and you
Awful
seem
at everything else.
You seem to be pulling a little bit to the right there. Opposite
Yes.
of my car. My car pulls to the left.
My car does pull deep on the right.
Yes. And, yeah, it's decent. Just a decent car. I mean, nothing spectacular about the looks of the inside. The inside looks bland. Really bland. Very brown. Those brakes are really touchy. You have drum brakes in the back, discs up front, if I didn't mention before.
We've also discovered it is possible to stall this vehicle.
Yes, he stalled it. Coming on that turn, he stalled it. It was good. Good stuff. And
Couldn't do that again if I tried.
yeah. You see, I feel a lot higher in this car than I do mine, but this car is taller than my car and the seating position's good. Seats are comfortable, surprisingly. I wouldn't expect the seats to be comfortable. I expect them to be kind of like bricks, but no, seats are really comfortable actually. And I mean, you don't get heated seats, you don't get cooled seats, you don't get anything like that. You just get to drive. That's basically the best feature of this car. You just drive it, which is good. It's good stuff, and it's just pretty decent to drive. And I mean, we're gonna see how well I can park it here, maybe.
Parking is easy.
Yes, except I don't back in without backup cameras, so we're gonna see how that goes.
Let's see.
Okay, maybe. That's neutral, that's reverse. Oh, hello. These mirrors are not adjusted to how I like.
And now we understand why Dan can't back in very well.
I'm sure Dan's fine. And yeah, that's the driving experience pretty much. So my final observation of it, it's just very shaky. That's what I don't like, because you can feel a lot from the engine when you're moving. You're like rattling a lot. The steering wheel rattles. Hydraulic steering's not ideal. You don't get any fancy features at all to help out with driving. No sound deadening at all from the engine bay, so it's loud. But I mean, it's slightly below average, I'd say. Nothing more than that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got on the driving portion. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. All right, just kidding. Just back here, not much. Not even a center console here. It's just.
If I had a knife in that, I'd probably need a demonetized
Well,
knife.
yeah, you just demonetized me. Good. Yeah. Back seats, very barren. You'll notice that there's not even a center console. I'm trying to shoot a video here. Do you mind?
No.
All right.
Julie, look at his.